walked up to her. "Good morning, madame," I said. "This is a bank robbery." I wouldn't have been surprised to have been told I was at the wrong counter. A robbery? She wasn't bothered, not lackadaisical, not shrill, a stoic. I could have been asking the time. "You're sure about this?" "I'm sure," I said, opening my over-large holster to reveal the cash-hungry Moor and the gun. She started plunking wads of money into the suitcase, not slowly, not fast. I rested the gun on the counter. "Do you want the change as well?" "No thanks." "Yeah, leave something," said a tetchy voice behind me. "I drove in this morning especially to make a withdrawal. Some people have to earn a living, you know." My dispenser has packed all the visible cash, then added a small slip of paper she had written on. "That's it. My colleague has some more." No, don't bother him," I said. That would have been greedy. "Thank you very much. Sorry to have troubled you. See you." "See you," she said, waiting for the next customer. Hubert and I walked out, Hubert billowing admiration. I could sense he wanted to unload some comments, but refrained from doing anything so out of place or unprofessional. Outside, he looked at me expectantly, waiting for me to give the lead, clearly thinking, now what do we do? I remembered that there was a very good fish restaurant around the corner. I chose to head there. Hubert whispered, "We aren't going to run a little bit?" "No," I said. Hubert obviously hadn't twigged that I was A, too old, B, too fat, and C, far too lazy to run, and that if I was going to be caught by the police, I wanted to be arrested in a dignified posture and state. The police were slow. We were already scanning the entrees and sipping an aperitif when the first police car sped by, easy to observe from our table by the restaurant window. The waiter didn't get on well with Hubert. Hubert seemed to me to be a stranger to first-class fish restaurants, and the waiter had formed the same opinion. "Let me tell you about the specialities of the day," the waiter urged. "No, I don't want to hear about the specialities," said Hubert. "I want the Zaruzella. We aren't tourists, you know." He concluded by curling up his lip in the manner one associates with very aggressive dogs about to bite someone. We were asked to move tables when another party arrived. Hubert was brought the wrong dish and had to ask 5 times for his beer. For us, criminals in a criminally expensive restaurant, the service was poor, despite the place being half empty, my caving in and taking one of the specialities of the day as a peace offering, and our drinking a small fortune. This is another sad element of life. No matter how good or expensive a restaurant, sooner or later you're going to be the recipient of offhandedness. The waiter rounded it off by pouring some buff-coloured sauce all over Hubert. I thought Hubert was going to hit him, but instead he insisted on leaving a tip as large as the bill. That'll teach him. I don't follow. He thinks I'm a prick, and there's nothing as grating as a prick with money, not even a smack in the mouth. In amongst the money from the bank, I found the piece of scrap paper that the teller had written on. In large writing so exciting that each character was worth 1,000 pictures was the name Jocelyne and a telephone number. I showed it to Hubert. He had noticed that look too. "Whoo!" he said, shaking his undetachable hand as if it were on fire. Now, there's a woman who's hard to shock. On our way out of the restaurant, Hubert lifted someone's cap from the coat rack and passed it to me. "We mustn't push our luck," he said, as I muffled my baldness. Outside, the police were making up for their earlier absence by a lot of presents, standing around, looking serious, talking into radios, and acting as if they had important things to consider and do. We strolled through them, only stopping when Hubert asked one motorized policeman leaning on his bike what had happened. Bank robbery. "Ah, did you catch them or have you got a good description?" asked Hubert in his public-spirited voice. "They won't get far," was the response. "Why did you do that?" I asked once we were out of earshot. "Just checking." Back in our room, Hubert kicked the cushion into the wall. "All I want to know is, are you a genius, or is this what philosophy can do for you?"